And we are live. Welcome to the round 3 leaderboard update, weekend best bets, kind of a rundown of everything that we've seen Thursday and Friday. My name is Matt Gannon of the Golf Gambling Podcast. Yes, I'm wearing a My Chemical Romance shirt. Yes, you can judge me. Just DM me. You know where to find me. You can judge me all you want. Before we get into the show, just quick shout out to my guy, our guy, everyone's guy, Boston Capper. Went into emergency surgery this morning, but he is doing well, and that's very, very good news because when stuff like that happens, you never know what can end up happening. But Boston Capper is doing well, so expect to see him back probably sooner than later. And I know for damn sure that motherfucker woke up from whatever he woke up from and asked someone how his bets were doing because he is the most degenerate person I know. One of the most degenerate persons I know but I know for damn sure he's probably looking to get some action on this tournament. He'll probably be tuning into this. So Boston Capper, we're all thinking about you. Keep doing your thing. You'll be good. So let's get into this weekend best bets. Turns out that strokes gained Harry was the key stat this week, as Harry Hall and Harris English are 1-2 on the leaderboard heading into the weekend. Harry Hall has 2 more holes to play, or a hole and a half to play, but it seems like he will be sitting somewhere around that 12 under number. So yeah, let's talk about our bets. Our like how we. I'm going to admit this is probably the worst I've ever done in a golf tournament betting wise, at least this season. Not like financially or anything. I bet the same amount every week, but just like in terms of being way off. Like I don't have any guys close. And I mean, you got to have a worst for everything. And this was the worst week I ever had. And it's kind of disappointing because Colonial is usually fun and an easy, not an easy, but an easier handy course to handicap because we have so much data on it. We see it year after year, but I don't know. This year was a bit wonky. And it's been boring, to be honest. It's been objectively boring. PGA Championship hangover, maybe, but I don't know. I'm ready to get to the Memorial already. Now, even if I had a guy in the mix, this has been a boring event. And hand up, if you tell me this week, you probably lost. So I'm sorry about that. I will be the first to admit it. I did not have the best calls this week, but maybe we can rebound this weekend, breaking down some stats, looking at that type of thing. So Harry Hall, 12 under at the moment. I can promise you this guy's not going to win the golf tournament. He is doing it all around the green and putting. He is 11th in around the green, getting 2.2 strokes, and second in putting, gaining 7 strokes on the green. That is not a recipe for success. He's never been in this position before. Guys named Scotty Scheffler, ever heard of him? Justin Rose chasing him down. You don't want to keep giving yourself those 12 footers for par and relying on your flat stick to bail you out. So I do not see Harry Hall hanging on to this tournament heading down the weekend. And this is not like a rando jabroni event like the Puerto Rico Open where like, okay, I guess Harry Hall won. No, this is kind of a historic event with some real ass winners that has decent history. So Harry Hall, I hate to say it, I like watching you play golf. I'm not a hater, but I don't see you winning this golf tournament. Let's dive into the guys below. So Harris English is playing really well. He's 10th in approach and 33rd in putting. That is a recipe for success. Anytime someone's gaining in those two categories, they're doing something right. He's actually gaining across the board, which is interesting to see. Harris English was very popular last week at the PGA Championship in DraftKings and betting, but he didn't really pan out. So a little flop lag. If you stayed on him this week, you're probably doing well in DraftKings. Harris English hasn't won in a while, so he's been kind of trending in the right direction the past few months. So it's nice to see him finally playing good, and I think he has a serious chance to win this golf tournament. He's a Ryder Cup guy. He's dealt with the pressure. He's a PGA Tour winner, so I could definitely see Harris English hanging on and win this golf tournament. Talking about the bets, I want to look at some Harris English bets. If we can get a Harris English versus Harry Hall tomorrow, I think we should hammer that even up to like minus 200. I'm not even kidding. I would bet that. Emiliano Grillo tied for third, or actually solo third at the moment. He is 30th in approach, but what's the key stat for Emiliano Grillo is the putter. He's 16th in putting, gaining almost 4 strokes on the putting surface. If you know anything about Emiliano Grillo, you know he's one of the worst putters on tour. Year in, year out, event in, event out. He's just a bad putter. He's a guy who'll give 10-foot looks, 12-foot looks all damn day, and he just two-putt and looked like he had, as Jeff Feinberg stated so perfectly heading into, I forget what event it is, what it was. Jeff Feinberg was like, I want to bet Emiliano Grillo this week, but I can see him standing over that 10-foot putt, and he hits the putt, and then he looks genuinely confused, like he hit a perfect putt exactly where he wanted to hit it, and he's just absolutely flabbergasted because it didn't go in the hole. That's the Emiliano Grillo that we are used to seeing. And it was just funny that Jeff said that. And then I remember watching the golf tournament the next day, and he did exactly that. So Grillo, he's putting it well, and that's what you need from him. You know you're going to get good ball striking. But Grillo hasn't really been in the thick of things this season, or at least not too often. So it's interesting to see how he's won on tour before, but it's interesting to see how he hangs in this final group pressure. He's going to be playing with Adam Schenk, who's like the perfect partner for him because he's not going to like be intimidated. And Adam Schenk is a guy who, whenever he gets into contention or something like that, he loses it, completely loses it. So we saw him get to, I think, -9 or -10 today, and then chunked a 90-yard wedge shot, missed a green from 150 yards, short-sided bad. So he did that at the Valspar too when he was in contention. He did that last year or a year and a half ago at the John Deere Classic. Adam Schenk is just a guy who pops when he wants to and is not really built to hang on to leads. If Adam Schenk's going to win a golf tournament, I think it's either got to be a really, 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 really shit field, or he's going to have to do one of those post a number and guys fall back to you type deals, which happens a few times a season. So Adam Schenk, I fade him going into the weekend as well. A guy that I think has a real chance to win, it might be my pick to win at 14-1, is Ben On. Ben On is third actually in strokes gained approach, gaining 4.8 strokes to the field, and he's gaining 0.2 strokes on the putting surfaces, which is the X factor for him as well. He's a historically bad putter, but has kind of putted well the last 2 months of the season. So Ben On's been trending in the right direction. He's been in the top 10 multiple times, and this is by no means an elite field that Ben On can't win in. So getting his PGA Tour card back from the Korn Ferry Tour last year, he's been making strides in the right direction. It's good to see him finally playing well again, because he was kind of a guy that would always pop up the last 3 years on Leaderboard. So it's cool to see Ben On back in it, and he's written the worst part of his game, which was the putter, at least of late. So if Ben On can putt to a 0, which he is, maybe he might have to gain a little bit more than a 0. I think Ben On is definitely live to win this golf tournament. That is gonna. I don't think the scores are gonna run away. I don't know if it's gonna get to -20, because this golf course, man. Like, I watch so much golf. You guys know how much golf I watch, and watching Colonial on TV, like, it doesn't look. And I'm not one of those guys who like will complain when their golfer misses a 5-foot putt. Like, I mean, yeah, I will, but like, I'm very realistic, and I know that how hard these golf courses are. But in comparison to other golf courses, Colonial doesn't look that intimidating or that hard just to the naked eye, and it just stands up every single year and proves to be a great test. So it's a great golf course. It's a historic golf course. I guess this event's just boring to me, but what I'm saying by this is that tee to green play will just obviously, who tweeted out? I think it was Barrel tweeted out like the worst sayings when people say ball striker's paradise. It's just so funny, because what's the course where ball striking isn't going to be important? But I'm thinking you're going to need to have that complete tee to green play, which is what Ben On does have. He's so good around the green too. Just throwing it out there. So I'm saying that because guys like Harry Hall, who are doing it all with the putter, should fall back to the field. And I think Ben On he's fourth on approach, should rise to the top. I can see him winning. He might be my pick to win this at 14-1. Now let's talk about Scotty Scheffler real quick. Scotty Scheffler, like, 4th straight event where he's like in the top 3 heading into the weekend, something stupid like that. But I talked about the past few events that Scotty Scheffler, if he keeps gaining across the board, there's no way he can lose, which was true, but then he kind of had to fade on the weekends. Scotty Scheffler is first off the tee, 16th on approach, gaining over 3 shots in both. He's losing 2.3 strokes on the putting greens. Now, I do these shows every week. Scotty Scheffler has putted well Thursday and Friday of a lot of these golf tournaments, But when we see at the end of the week, oh, Scotty didn't putt well again, he's kind of been putting bad on the weekend. So if that flips, he gets those 2 good putting rounds Thursday and Friday, Scotty Scheffler's for sure damn live to win this event. I mean, obviously he was 4-1 to win the thing. He is 360 right now. Like, I don't think that I think plus 360 is a much better bet than 4-1 was at the beginning of the tournament, just based off where he is and what the stats are saying. So Scotty Scheffler, definitely live. I kind of like what his stat profile is showing. I like that he's losing on the putting surfaces. He's got plenty of experience around this golf course. Lost in a playoff here last year. Dallas narrative. Scotty Scheffler is definitely a guy you would think in the next 3 years. Yeah, he won at Colonial for sure. He's a Texas guy. And we have that Spieth narrative, and I drilled it all week. Obviously, it didn't come to fruition. How Jordan Spieth played here 10 times, average finish of 8.5. What are we going to say about Scotty Scheffler in 10 years? Scotty Scheffler has played here 10 times, average finish of 6.5. You've got to play Scotty Scheffler at Colonial. Let's get ahead of that trend. I don't mind him at plus 360. I think we're going to do our 3 bets. Sprinkle a little bit on Ben on 14-1. A little bit on Scotty Scheffler plus 360, and then find a matchup fading Harry Hall these next 2 days. So that basically is all I want to talk about at the top of the leaderboard. Oh, Justin Rose. Justin Rose I wanted to mention because he's a guy who I think could finish inside the top 5 and contend over this weekend. Justin Rose on Thursday had one of the worst putting rounds I've ever seen Justin Rose have as a golf fan, as a golf better. Justin Rose is a great putter. He's a great bent grass putter. He lost 3.3 strokes putting on Thursday, and he was second in approach on Thursday. At this point in the field, he is gaining 7 strokes on approach, which is good for first in the field, and he's losing 2.6 putting. He got better today. He gained about 0.7 strokes putting today, so he's trending in the right direction. That approach play and that ball striking was there, like heading into the tournament. It is there as he's leading the field in approach right now, and the putter was behind on Thursday. It's already catching up, so I think Justin Rose is a great look. He's 18-1. What is he? I think he's -5 right now. He's 18-1, -5. Like, Harry Hall is going to come back. Yeah, he's 12 under through 17. Hasn't teed off yet on number 9, which is his last hole. I don't know if I want to want to bet on Justin Rose to win this golf tournament at 18-1 when Scotty Scheffler is a stroke ahead of him. I think Ben On's live at 7 under, and then I think Harris English is live at 9 under. But if we could find a Justin Rose top 5 plus 240, I think that is a great bet. So those are 4 looks I'm going to give you. Justin Rose top 5 plus 240, Scotty Scheffler plus 360 for sure. Sprinkle on Ben On 18-1, and then matchups fading Harry Hall tomorrow and Sunday. So that about does it. Hope you guys have a good weekend, a fun Friday night. Give a shout out to Capper if you can. Give him a little get well soon, because he will, and he will be betting. Just know that. So I'll catch you guys on Monday. A lot of content coming Monday, probably for me. Doing a lot because they might be Capper and Steve might be out on next week. So I'm going to be doing a lot of content next week. You guys know where to find me. Any questions, DM me. I'll catch you guys on Monday. Peace out.